for some of these teams. I know you and I have been quite disappointed with a few of them.
Wow, getting straight to it.
I just figured, why play games? You know what I mean?
Let's not be about the bush.
Yeah, there's just a couple teams that obviously, I mean, Orion is the big one, Monkey Business. Supremacy also really surprised me, if I'm being completely honest. I thought that they would come out a lot stronger, and well, they didn't. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually looking at them to make moves on Miramar because, I mean, previously they got like 20 points total on a wrangle, and I'm talking about obviously the round of 16, and then 70 odd points or something on Miramar, like a crazy difference. But I mean, they've just lagged behind, and to go through all 6 games of Miramar back to back and not really make moves was a bit of a surprise because, I mean, I remember the guys being pretty shocked about some of the late game finishes that were getting on a wrangle the first time around, because obviously that was a surprise considering the previous performance.
Yeah, well, you also look at the roster when you see like Honey. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna be honest. There's a name in there that I can't pronounce. There's Rekar, Patel, Gakulti. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering that.
That was actually pretty good, yeah. It's
probably bad, but that's a relatively unknown roster to me, obviously. But I really enjoyed what I saw from them, and it's not coming together. It's not coming together here at all for them. Obviously, Orion is another very big talking point. Is a team that Clover had picked, to be one of her best. They were also on my radar, and they're just, I don't know, they're a non-factor.
No, and again, it's. I always find it more difficult to kind of say, obviously, where teams are fundamentally going wrong, as opposed to, it's very easy to say, oh, well, that move they made in Circle 3, and
or the way they good or something.
Yeah, the way they play split and center up on Circle 4, things like that. But with Orion, it just comes down to team fights. Like, yeah, they've not looked in sync at all. I don't know if that's an IGO issue or somebody not really kind of taking the reins and calling the shots kind of in the moment when a team fight's kicking off. Because I mean, that's something that comes with time. Like passive teams are the ones that usually leave out in competitions like this because, if you're not going to practice your team fighting, like things are falling apart before you get to the end game.
That's the thing that makes me curious, though. I wonder if they did even practice team fighting. Maybe they were actually having some good scrims as far as getting into fights, but it's just everything is just falling apart. And it's not that I want to beat a dead horse here. It's just I'm an Orion fan. I really wanted to see them do well, but at the very least they can still finish strong. They have 3 games left. It's not over. I don't want to talk about it like it's over, but it's just not looking good. On the other side of things, I mean, we're looking at Team Clueless. We have Gravity. Even Elusive, who's a team that Poor and I were pretty critical on yesterday. They're killing it.
Yeah, it's good to see that top 4. I will say that much because these are teams that a lot of eyes have been on. Obviously, there's been lots of talk about the Elusive roster changes. Obviously, Liberate with the return of Baha and Hello Senpai. That was a big disappointment in PCS, but it's good to see that a couple of times they're getting themselves to late game situations and that they don't look shy. And that's the thing with a team like that, you'd expect them to be kind of oozing confidence just due to that experience. But again, it can always be a really nice reset for some of these teams that do struggle to obviously make it through the group stages in PCS to come back here and say, let's get a couple of those confidence boosters. Let's frag out a few games, have a couple of games where we're playing on foot from Circle 2 and we're just sweeping the edge.
Yep. It's one of my biggest things when I talk about teams, coming down to this level. Is as long as they're working on the things that brought them here and fixing mistakes and improving, then it's fine. I mean, sure, it's not ideal to come down to challengers, but at the very least, if you're fixing mistakes or dominating the lobby, you have that confidence going forward, moving into whatever's next. We'll have to see. I don't know. But so far, Gravity, Team Clueless, Elusive, and Liberate, as you said, I mean, they've been doing really well. Liberate, at the very least, is getting very active on the edge again, which is something that we kind of expected to see, especially coming off of PCS2 to PCS3. We didn't quite see that, but we're starting to see them kind of get back into form. And Keck W is also another team that I think has really done well as far as positioning themselves with frags specifically. These guys are killing it.
Yeah, it's good to see a team kind of adopt that play style because again,
especially in these lobbies, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. These are the ones that there is a bit more of a, I guess, a random factor, and that probably is down to, you know, experience on some teams, in whether it be an IGL sense or just an all-round team experience at this level, where, you know, teams are they're not going to expect to get punished for certain things. So there can be that kind of random factor where, you know, you're getting crash circle one, like on your loot spot, like a team's sending it at 4 minutes and you get caught off guard like that. So it is good to see some teams kind of adapt to that, play kind of a frag heavy play style, because I mean, ultimately some of these games, you know, you can win by just fragging out, like creating a lot of mid-game presence and pressuring a lot of teams away from, you know, those priority compounds, and it can garner you a lot of space.
I mean, it's hard to mention fragging out and just raw points and not mention SDK in the last you know, grand finals. Although they didn't win, they were pretty behind, but they started to make up a lot of that ground on frags alone. I mean, I think it was towards the end of the tournament that they finally got their first chicken dinner, which I think you said they were due. So frag heavy teams, even without the dinners, can absolutely put in the work, and you know, that's kind of what we're seeing from some of these guys.
I was just about to mention this. I'm so glad we've come here. I just glanced over to the map. I was
like,
a lot of teams look to center up already, which is an expectation with this circle. Lots of teams coming down towards Lumberyard, north side of Milta, but Monkey Business actually set up ahead of Pros Don't Snake, and it doesn't look like Pros Don't Snake have got a beat on what's waiting for them. We don't often see bridge camps, but a team like Monkey Business, you know, I mean, I like it. Switch it up a bit, play for some early kill points, give yourself a little cushion. And you know, ease your side of the circle.
Well, on top of that, we may see a bridge camp here that, like, very light, someone passing through, but this is an actual setup on the bridge camp, which is right. We haven't seen in so long. Sociopath gonna take shots. Oh, and he's down.
Did get popped, yeah.
Yep. And now they know that there's possibly a team camping this bridge.
Something's up.
Yeah. And Pros Don't Snake, I mean, this is a team that, to be fair, is middling, and they're doing okay, but I still think this team is way too passive. Scaz is gonna get just absolutely cracked, and this is already a bad situation for PDS.
It is indeed. Yeah, Lister trades one back. Kite will fall, but it's going to be a much safer res for Monkey Business to go for it. Dirty's in way off to the south, actually round on Novo. I mean, just on the out of view on the minimap, we do actually have Virtue Wrap in the south side of Sosnovka as well, but we have to keep an eye on that in the kill feeder for the time being. This is over, much more centered up. Obviously, we're just away from Milta Power here. You can see Elusive and No Cap getting into it. Elusive's still in a little bit of a split, and this is one of those situations I was potentially talking about. Plube actually going to throw a gas can to the bottom of the stairs, going to pop that, create himself a little bit of an opportunity to hop out the window. Sneak Attack's actually going to open him up from the flat top, though. Might actually go down. He actually survives with 12 HP.
I really like the play with the gas can. Jumping out, however, was very sketchy. I mean, the fact that he survived that, Sneak Attack almost got him down. But yeah, these two teams are definitely intertwined here. And this is exactly what happens, is what you were talking about with these Milta Power circles. Everyone centers up.
Yeah, it is. Again, coming to these circles late is just not an option. It really isn't. I mean,
well, it is. You're just not going to...
I mean, you can come late, but you have to be ready to literally fight as you pull up. You have to clear your edge. You have to move in with the circle. And, you know, the later it gets, the less space you have to do that, because there's always going to be another couple of teams that are playing a similar plan. I mean, looking off to the north side of the map right now, we have 3 teams that are playing kind of mansion and south. Now, those are the teams that they're going to settle. They're not going to get to center at this point. They know that they're not going to get anything kind of prior in terms of compounds or positioning. So now I'm going to expect this. If this centers up, it creates that edge that lies over prison and shelter. All these teams get compacted in next to each other. So you've got to be ready to clear that.
And that's exactly what happens, as you explained. You have your main clump in Milta Power, and then you have your secondary clump, which is just around that prison area. Oh, Deadeye going in, trapped in the corner. He's actually knocked. And that's both down.
Yeah, Reknar going to find first with the nade and the second with the AK. And San Diego Rarity, I'm not sure why Acro is choosing to pull up on this. You need to get away from there, buddy. He's actually going to get popped out as well. The guy whose name we can't say, Geico, going to find that one. I'm not sure what San Diego Rarity are doing right now. This is a team that's right on the cusp. It would be terrible for them to go out 16th place on the first Erangel game of the day, but Innate's just going to have to hop on a bike and send it away.
I mean, that play by Acro was just... I mean, it just looked like he was confused. He didn't know what to do. I I don't know, but
I mean, you don't need a call in that situation. If your two teammates send into a flat top, like,
and
you don't
both
need...
of them go down. Yeah, no,
Yeah, that's just odd there. Actually looks like Orion are pulling up onto the same, so maybe they're looking to try and third party this. I can already see one player downed. Looks like number one Potato is trying to play anchor from a high ground position. Not sure what Hello Senpai is doing. He teleported. He is actually with his team. He was in ruins temporarily. Circle did pull up quite far up to the northwest side, so that cut out a lot of the water, and does cut out a lot of those compounds down Monkey Road as well.
And here comes Orion pushing the same same flat top, I should say, that Supremacy held away from San Diego Rarity, and this is that's actually a really nice nade.
What? That was the longest stun ever. What?
Yeah, I didn't even think that was ball. I thought it would. I thought it was the nade because it kept going. You know, they usually stop, but I mean, Orion has a really interesting setup on this. They actually have really good setup to hold flat top itself, but not the members Supremacy coming in from behind.
Oh no.
But
yeah,
I think,
I mean, this situation when you commit to third party like that, I don't like them pulling out. Number one Potato still had a really good high ground position there. Maybe just not fancying the push onto the flat top. I don't know. I liked it. The fact that they were looking to get aggressive, come down and third party that fight was really good stuff from them. I've seen a couple of teams now reposition over towards Milta Godspeed. Obviously, Gravity coming into the mix now. Innate, our last man standing for San Diego Rarity, as we know, he's going to have to get quiet and wait this one out. But we've got 4 teams throwing it into Milta right now. In my opinion, the worst place for an end game to be is Milta. Like, I absolutely hate it. Either that or Yasnaya.
It depends on what part of Yasnaya. Let's be honest. Like if it's apartments, the absolute worst. I cannot stand apartments.
Police station side slightly better.
It's okay. It's really bad here, especially when that 3-story with the flat roof is in, because that one building that you see the KEKW is in there pretty much controls most of Milta when it's in, and it's so difficult to get around it. If you're the team in there, it's great, you know, especially if you have a split that KEKW is going with the barn and the 3-story there, but well, 2.5-story, but you get my drift.
It's a lot to hold on to at this stage of the game, though. They're gonna have teams peppering shots at them for the next like 10 minutes. If this is still in the circle, it's a lot of pressure to hold off. Plus, you know, when they're peaking Milta, there's like 400 windows that can see them, whereas that's one building, there's like 5 windows to peek out of. So it's very, very difficult to really get any information or try and pressure any teams. There's so many angles to worry about.
Yeah, and you're seeing that right now. I mean, Gravity is just harassing KEKW, which is okay for KEKW in the sense that they're not necessarily in threat of being pushed right this second. But if Gravity starts landing a lot of damage and they can see that they're taking off some helmets, there's definitely a push that can go in. But retaliating on D-Rich there. Nice shots. Going to get the headshot, knock him down. They're going to be able to get that up as we see the second shift and right on Milta.
Yeah.
I don't miss playing these.
No, I don't. Obviously, we know this one. We have to take into account the water at this point, so expecting it to kind of obviously center up around Supremacy's compound, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
There is the option for some variance in that, but expect this one to kind of Milta in the south, the southern hemisphere of Circle 4, if you like. Lots of teams do still need to make some moves. I can see Ascendants now making moves on the northwest side. Cozy actually coming down past Milta Power right now. We've got No Cap and Elusive still out that way. But over here now, Virtue finally made it across the bridge, and Liberate, who kind of made a slow play in through towards Farm, but play for fun, are actually sending some shots over their way. Baja's actually going to get control of the lodge here. Virtue have just pulled up on the other side of this.
Yeah, Virtue came across late. Obviously, they were behind multiple teams. Nice shots. Tanaka's going to find Guab. And it's just Baja now.
He's actually going to get flushed out. And Icetech just coming down the road now. You can see him just popped into the mini-map. He's going to pull up, maybe try and get some pressure in here. But this is a lot to hold off for Baja. Virtue is still 4 strong. We know that they came late off Sosnovka, so they've had no pressure to this point. Baja going to send some utility over that way. Pop a first aid kit.
Push it, Baja.
Doesn't look, I mean, it doesn't look like Virtue are that interested in pushing either. So
no.
You give a player like Baja the opportunity, he will look for an angle and get a few knocks.
To be fair, these double bulk buildings are nightmares to push. So I do understand the hesitation. I also am not sure if they know how many of Liberate are in there. But either way, Virtue was the team that came off of the bottom of Military Island. They were actually waiting for that Monkey Business Pros and Snake little camp there, and they actually have a decent position as Vec.
Oh. I don't know why he slowed down in front of the building. Yeah, so
he was just
okay.
checking to see if someone was home. I mean, people do scout on bikes all the time. They'll slow down, see if anyone's in there shooting at them. Unfortunately for Vexel, most of those were headshots, and he went down immediately.
Yeah, I mean, Cozy could have been on that hilltop, though, like looking towards the buildings. Yeah, I mean, take a peek first. Like, he was riding within, like, 25 meters of the front door. Cozy looked like if they get lodged here, it's going to be an absolute godsend, to be honest with you, because this is a power position to get through, and depending on this shift, it could give them a nice edge to kind of fight their way into Milta. It looks like they're driving past it, but meanwhile, Icetech managed to get into a pretty deadly position here. He's actually kind of backfilled Virtue. He's come back round to the side that Virtue crashed on. You can see Virtue pretty much hyper tunneled onto Baja Waka.
It's a big flank.
The lodge. This is really nice. If Baja can get just like a one piece of information that one's up close, it's going to give a fantastic opportunity for Icetech. I think he's just relayed it there because they vaulted into the ground floor of lodge.
And he's going to be able to see at least one member here on the outside, on the right.
Ooh. I think that Virtue member actually heard Icetech.
No, maybe he didn't. Baja is going to get the opening knock. He needs help from Icetech. Icetech has to go. There's no more hesitation. That's going to be another one. 2 down. 2 on 2 for Liberate as they take out Super. And Batty Lol is knocked. And Baja actually made it out. Really nice play from him. As you said, you never want to give Baja any time to think or plan any sort of play. But
oh no.
Monkey business.
Yeah, the third party again. Baja just couldn't break line of sight there. It's too much to worry about for one man trying to fight off the 3-man of Virtue. Batty does get back to his feet. Icetech now in a position where he's probably just going to try and convert 1 or 2 more kill points out of this. I mean, he might potentially could go for the res if he can hold the front door. But again, there's 2 windows upstairs he's got to worry about, and all they need to do is hold until
he needs the ball right now. He has the opportunity. He can see the windows. He can see he's clear. I mean, if he wants to go for this, he can go to the wall. Nice.
That's a nice knock. And Badilo actually flushed out Baja as well. So now leaves Icetech in a 1v2 situation. That molly's perfect as well. It's going to do a lot of damage, but Tanaka won't fall off that. Badilo trying to cook some nades. I think that one's going to be very well cooked. Oh, it didn't actually... Yeah, he actually overcooked it, but he does still come out on top. AK versus Beryl should win that one every day of the week.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was Icetech that I saw have a really nice 3x AK spray earlier, so he definitely enjoys that weapon. I still love the AK, although obviously there's a better option out there, but I've always been a lover of the AK. I mean, it just does a lot of damage, and Icetech uses it well. Unfortunately, Liberate's going to go out as we now move on to Ascendance Esports. It looks like Raven has fallen, but they still have a nice little... Did you guys call this anything? We didn't call this anything, but often I feel like Envy always played here.
That's going way back.
Yeah, it's
way back.
It is way back, but
like Pat Cap's era Envy, right?
Yeah, that's yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, they always used to drop like Envy. Snake and Farm, right?
That's true. Oh, that's right. There was a period where they actually didn't really know where they were going. It was kind of all over the place, and then they settled on Farm and Snake.
I'm just looking now. Obviously, similar situation over in Milta. No real opportunity for anyone to move out there. Again, it did pretty much center up on Supremacy. Did pull kind of as far north as it possibly could. So Orion actually, off the back of that, the only ones really playing the hard north edge here. So they're in a really good position to spread out. But right now, again, I guess maybe that is some air.
That is. Hold. I was about to say. He landed on the roof. You actually can't get on that roof. That's huge. That is actually huge, and I think he can even get to the other roof as well. Although
no, come on. No, okay. You make an alpha play like that, and then you jump straight off the roof. No, don't like it.
If we could actually just never spectate evasion again, that would be. I'm just kidding. That was sick. I mean, the bike is perfectly parked up there, though.
If the circle comes back this way,
he's gonna be so upset.
Yeah. Because that's like a Zampa position.
Oh,
like to just be on a random rooftop. Oh my god, the circle actually just hard shifted to the north, cutting all of Milta out now. And we've got what, 20 players, 25 players?
5, 6, 7. 7 teams in Milta, I think.
Okay. So I straight away need to go towards L picks. We need to be looking at Supremacy and NoCap. Those teams are in the positions to kind of clean up. What's left of Milta? If these guys have still got vehicles to hold on to, which we know Evasion hasn't. That's actually a perfect.
That's a disgusting molly. He's down. Yeah.
Yeah, he's down. Yeah. Okay, Batty.
Okay, making up for Evasion is roof jump there.
But the problem now comes, Godspeed, like anybody without a vehicle here, they can't foot push up that hill. They simply can't.
There's no way. There's no way. Not with Supremacy. Supremacy looking. You have Team Clueless as well off to the east there. I think Elusive. The foot pushing this is suicide. The only realistic wrap you have is either if you're Monkey Business, you basically go to the west, and if you're anyone else, you just you just try to wrap that way.
I mean, if you're anybody else, to be honest with you, you take a team fight. Like, Virtue are going to get out of here. They're going to head towards the east, but Elusive, Clueless, and NoCap are all over this side. I don't expect them to really get a decent position in the circle. You can see one member of Virtue in the car there. Can't tell exactly. It's actually Baddie down to 50 HP. They're sending it towards NoCap. Shack here. This is bold. The split's actually perfect for NoCap as well. Evasion going to fall first off. NACC falls second. Actually, Baddie going to get the first aid kit off, but down to 25. He's actually going to get the flush as well. Yeah. So a little bit sloppy here because Plube's going to fall from the third party from Keck W Keys as well.
And Baddie should be able to make it into the shack here, but
I mean, the third party saved him.
Yeah, it did. No, it did. But he still has to move up the hill. And as you said, it's going to be very difficult. We've now moved to Monkey Business fighting for the flat top here that we see PDS. And I think there was even a solo in there somewhere. Sneak attack.
I mean, this is chaos again. And this is what the kind of alternative decision that you have to make is to just go for a push onto a building, you try and get some kills. Yeah. Supremacy, obviously, third party from the top. Retaliative going to get Tetra down. That's just one building over, but there's still 3 teams to worry about here inside Milton. You can see the kill feed is not stopping right now.
So many different teams in this flat top. Retaliative going to get another kill, Pac, but they still have to get out. I mean, Keck W Warriors are none of these teams are in, so it's going to be running and gunning, trying to get a kill or two, while also simultaneously getting picked off by Ascendants. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Oh, did they spot him? I think they did spot him. Yeah, Retaliative did spot him. So 2Mass actually right in front of Big Penguin here. Is he gonna get? He's not gonna get it off. There was one more tick, and now Keck W Keys, they have the edge. Simply Matt actually has made it to kind of a downhill position, but 2Mass and Retaliative did hold off here to try and clean up some of these kill points. I like it. You know, damage control, if they feel as if they're going to go out, they did put some points on the board before doing so, but they've actually got themselves a top 8 position now. And Simply Matt getting onto the hillside at least gives them an option to fight forwards here.
Yep, it does. And on top of that, ELPX has a nice split there that they can easily consolidate into that Wizard Tower. Orion actually has a beautiful wrap to the north here. If they want to take it, they could really take control of this circle. As it's only just one team ahead, and coming off the high ground, as you know, in this circle is so beneficial. But we'll see what route they want to take. It looks like they're going to take shots over here at Team Clueless.
This is the point of the game, though. We need to see Orion convert something. Nice shots from number 1 Potato there. NHS will fall on the backside of the UAZ. Baddie send it in a Dacia, but this is what I was saying. Now is the time I want to see Orion convert this position to some points, not just bank on these placement points. I mean, they're potentially in a game-winning spot if they can clear this up.
Oh, 100%. I think they're actually in the spot because they can choose which way they want to wrap, what team fight they want to take. They're obviously still in the circle. They've chosen to take out Clueless first, get those points, which is exactly what you want to see them do. We'll see if they can convert anything after that, though. And what is their play? Are they indeed going to try to take a fight to the north, or are they just going to kind of stay put and hang out on the edge where they're in? I mean, I think the decision to make to win the game is very obvious, but it's just the onus is on Orion to make that decision. And Keck W Warriors, Pac, I'm surprised they're still alive.
Yeah, I mean, if they deal with Sharu here, they have a route up the hill.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was huge that Simply Matt was able to get across when he did. 2Mass and Retaliative, I mean, surprisingly enough, have actually managed to join him. They're going to find Sharu over on the east side. So down to 5 teams now. Keck W Killers up to... Sorry, Keck W Killers. I keep calling them the Killers. I don't know why, but up to 6 kills now. Up to 6 kills now. Looks like they're going to try and wrap back on and potentially try and take the fight with Supremacy here. And this flat top is not the easiest to hold. As soon as you let somebody get this close, it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, you're essentially just waiting for the push at that point. There's nothing, you can't go outside, you can't really peek the windows, you're completely surrounded. But Keck W is still, the way that they played this, obviously they took that really early flat top down in Milta. It helped them out. They recognized what they needed to do as far as rotating up early.
Oh my god, that's a huge flash.
Oh, but
he's so unlucky not to get that.
Another flash coming in.
He's actually so unlucky not to get that knock. 2mass and Retaliative here now to help him out. He's going to bounce another flash in. Nobody peeking off that one, though. And just more utility keeping Supremacy at bay in the ground floor of the flat top here.
Nice.
But actually going to hop in. I love this. This is huge. Absolutely huge. They're taking it apart. 2-4 from Supremacy. Keck W coming on the inside, but only actually going to find 2 knocks and 1 flush on the staircase here. 2 members of Supremacy still up. There you go. They do manage to hold it down. Fantastic effort from Keck W, though.
Yeah.
Supremacy hold the line, wait out all of that utility, and they only lose 1 member for it. I thought as soon as he got that vault into the office,
I thought
downstairs, dude, I thought he was going to swing on, get both of those knocks on the ground floor. All the other guys had to worry about was the staircase, but really, really well played from Supremacy there to hold on.
Yeah, that was well played from both teams, to be completely honest.
Here we go.
And this is what this is what we want. This is what we want, Puck.
Yep, and I mean, all the time that fight was going on, Orion and flexed out now to try and take this fight with Ascendance. They've got to be careful. Ripper's actually on a deep flank against the blue. He's going to find I Love Gwen Stacy, but Greta can't find that knock. Lamborghini going to trade one back, but 2-4 for Orion now.
Yep, another knock coming in, and it's just Ripper. Ripper is trying to back off, and although there was some bloodshed, Orion is definitely going to make it out of this one. As long as they just
Ripper's super lit. They should be able to get this. There we go. Orion going to put some more kill points on the board, up to 4 now, and find themselves.
Look at ELPX though.
A top 3 position. ELPX they are charging this down.
Beautiful.
Milo going to come on, get 1 knock and a flush. Ripper's going to get the bleed out credit. Number 1 Tate, and now the last man standing for Orion. Unfortunately here, ELPX coming up and clean that one up, so they will fall in 3rd place, but a much better game from Orion this time around. Yeah. Supremacy have flexed out. Femme Fatale actually fell to the blue. Not entirely sure what happened there because nobody was shooting them at the time, but now they find themselves in a 2v4 situation.
It does happen indeed. Maybe he took a little step there on the blue side, but I mean, this is really just ELPX's game to lose at this point. If Supremacy can get a really nice split, somehow they can manage to split ELPX, get a knock or 2, they have a chance. But the way that ELPX is just positioned, the circle control that they have, and I'm pretty sure the idea of where they think Supremacy is going to be very difficult.
I was just about to say, if this one doesn't pull to the north, it's actually creating more of an opportunity for Supremacy here, because you can see Tudo's position is actually kind of exposed if they keep sweeping west here, but they've got to be careful. Don't want to see them give up a knock before the circle pop.
Caesar is the one that's actually creating the space for ELPX to make sure that what you were explaining doesn't happen as he goes forward.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's really nice by Caesar. He's got to be careful. As you said, he can definitely get knocked, which would not be great. However, the way that he's taking his time, this is beautiful.
Now, just bait out a few shots, wait for some audio cues. He's going to be able to get a nice open uphill angle here onto the backside of Supremacy. I don't think they're expecting it at all. I'm looking at the map. Both of their pointers are facing right towards that. Nade was actually perfect. They're going to do 79 damage. You have to fall back here. And all this time, this information getting relayed. Caesar can peek up whenever he wants to. Oh, my God. How did that one not knock him?
Caesar's about to get the 2 easiest kills of his career here.
Okay.
He's one.
He's staring at them.
I think he knows where Get Colt is, but yeah, I think he was just waiting maybe for a nade. But just like that, it's just Honey in a smoke, and they're gonna firing squad it. What if he wins this puck? That'd be insane.
I mean, I want to see it, but it's not gonna happen. Elpic's gonna close that one out. 7 kills, really, really good.